So last week in my review, I forgot to mention how the opening, it actually changed some because we see now that when they show everybody stand, at first when Koichi was in there, all you see him is posing, but we don't see his stand, but last week, and of course this week as well, every time we see it now, we do see his stand, and we see how it spells out mystery, and we even see now how at the end where we have the hand, attacking like some kind of wall, we also have Koichi stand on there as well. And I did notice that, during the little mid card where we see a stand, apparently in the anime, Koichi's stand will be called Reverb. And to me, to me personally, I prefer its manga name, which was Echoes. So that right there is probably what I will, refer to it as. But in this episode as well, the opening was kind of different because the tempo or the sound, something of it was like definitely definitely different from normal. But at the same time, I was like digging that. And also, like, to me, I found it really interesting how we got so much content in the episode because we also did not get the ending as well. And to me, that right there was like kind of awesome because we got to see more of the anime as well. But this episode, it mainly focus on Koichi and this like crazy new girlfriend, Yukako. And apparently this girl has a stand that like allows her to control like her hair. And we see now that when the episode started off, it was like focusing on Josuke and Okuyasu because we see now how they're still looking for the user of Red Hot Chili Peppers, and right now they do not have a lead because this guy is like very cautious. And we see now how at first, we have Okuyasu was like asking Josuke what did Hazamada say because obviously he was thinking that he might know something, but at the same time that right there proved to be true because of course if Hazamada knew anything about the user of Red Hot Chili Peppers, that right there would like make him come after him to kill him. But we see now how those two guys, they messed him up because this guy, his face was like all bruised. He had bandages like, he had bandages like around his body, like his face, like around one of his arms. And we see now how one arm was like in a sling and a cast. So obviously, that was broken. But we have, Hazamada telling Josuke and Jotaro how, stand users, like, they are, like, drawn to each other. So pretty much eventually, this user, he'll come to them. And so now we see that while they were, like, walking, they spot Koichi. And we see him now, still alone at first, having his drink. And so Okuyasu was like, why they there, acting all cool. And we see that when they were going to approach him, that's where, Yukako had appeared. And so pretty much, this scene right here, what's the name? Yukako confessing to Koichi, and that right there, caught everybody off guard. And we see now Okuyasu, he was like getting mad salty, and that right there I found freaking hilarious. And so we see how Koichi, he could not give her like a short answer because, she asked him if he loved her. And of course, he can answer that because I'm pretty sure he hardly knew her because of course he had no idea she was like going to confess. He really thought that, when she, invited him, when she invited him out, that right there would be, over something simple like, like homework notes or taking in, like some kind of pet. He never thought she would like confess to him like this. And so then when we have her asking him if he hated her, of course, he definitely doesn't like hate her as well. And then out of nowhere, all you see is like this girl snap. And obviously you definitely see a few signs of her stand because you can see her hair. It was like moving, quite a bit. And so right now she had calmed down and we see her now leaving. And so now, Koichi, he was definitely kind of freaking out. Okuyasu, he actually calmed down some. And we even see now how all of that jealousy he was feeling, it was now gone. And, when he saw how crazy, she can be. And so then we see that when Koichi had went to like get some of his drink, out of nowhere, all you just see is like all this hair in his mouth and like in his drink as well. And to me, that right there was like so freaking disgusting, bro. I was like cringing at that because it was just so much hair. Like to me, that right there was just so freaking disgusting. And so now the following day, we have Koichi doing his classroom duties because we see him like sweeping up the chem lab, and we see now that out of nowhere, Yukako, she had appeared behind him, and we see now that while they were talking, like out of nowhere, she had came here with like this lunch. And we see how she made all this stuff like just for him, and we even see how she also made a sweater for him as well, because she was saying how like she was so worried that Koichi might hate her, that she actually couldn't sleep, so she was up all night knitting this sweater for him. And we see now how this over here was like so strange, because apparently she had knew like his chest size, and so that right there was like kind of weird, because it's like, Chess, how often are you like looking at him and like studying him? And then we see now where she was like trying to feed him, like there was like no way he could like turn her down, but at the same time he did not want to eat that food, so he was at quite a pickle. And we see now how their class rep, she actually came because, obviously it seemed like Koichi was like slacking off, and right now he had these duties to fulfill, because like after he had swept the classroom, he was supposed to take out this trash. And so we see now how the class rep, by her coming to get him, that right there saved him, that right there saved him from eating her food. And so right now, where we had those two taking out the trash, Yukako, she was definitely upset, and I do like, for some reason, I definitely like the way she was posing, where the camera was like zooming out, out of her, showing her full figure, like that pose she was doing. You could like that right there was just screaming, pissed off to me. And so now, like after they were done with that, and we have the class rep and Koichi, parting ways. We see now how Yukako, came to the girl, and we see how like she was telling her, to back off, stop bothering Koichi, and she said, if you get close to him again, I'll make sure you regret it. And so right now, this class rep, she was like going off, saying, "Who you think you are? I don't care about him." She was like bad mouthing Koichi. And then we have Yukako, using her stand, and we see now that these hair strands, they actually went, like into this girl's head. And so at first, like obviously she had felt something, but at the same time, she was not sure what it was. And so then we see that when she continued to like badmouth Koichi, she could tell like something was wrong. And then we see, like she was noticing how hot she was getting, and then out of nowhere, all you see is her head. It was like on fire. And so right now, we have Okuyasu and Josuke, because they were definitely, well, Josuke at least, he was definitely suspicious of her, because like when he saw that all that hair was like in Koichi's drink, he was thinking that like she might be a stand user, but at the same time, he was like trying to put down that idea. But seeing what she did to this class rep right here, that right there, like really made them realize, what she was. And so there out of nowhere, we see the hand, pretty much getting rid of all this girl hair that was like on fire. And so right now her hair was like kind of a mess. And we see now how Josuke was like, he cannot, heal something or fix something once it's like blown away by the hand. And so now this girl hair has to grow naturally, because Josuke, he can't fix that. And so now we have, Josuke, Okuyasu, and Koichi, like they were all talking about a way to make, Yukako, pretty much give up on Koichi, because if Koichi just, like shut her down like that, that right there would be an extremely bad idea. And so right now they were coming up with plans, but pretty much they were like going to make Koichi look bad in her eyes, because that right there, like might make her give up. And so we see now that when school let out, we have Okuyasu and Josuke. They were like talking bad about Koichi, you know, saying how he shoplift, how we steal like girls' panties or look up their skirts, and like how he like cheats on his test. And so pretty much Yukako, you know, she was like hearing all of this, and so right now, you know, like we have no idea what she was thinking at first because she said nothing after hearing all that. She just left. But then we see that when Koichi was like home and we see him now trying to sleep, she actually got period in his dream, and there is no way he can rest like that. And so out of nowhere, you know, when he wakes up, all we see is her being a full-on creeper because this girl is like a stage 5, you know, Klingon. You know, like all we saw her was like her staring at him, you know, through his window. But at the same time, the way it was animated, I was like laughing my ass off because to me it was hilarious. I knew that when I saw that scene, I would definitely make it, you know, my picture as I normally do for the episode because to me I was just dying laughing at that scene. And so pretty much now, you know, what she does is she uses her stance to pretty much make her hair, you know, open his window, and we see how, you know, she was grabbing him and like tangling him up in there so that way he cannot escape. And we see now how we had some test, and we see now how we obviously failed that because all he scored on it was like a 16. And so pretty much now she kind of made him like pass out, and when he came to, you know, obviously he's not in his home any longer. And so pretty much when Yukako came in, she had all this food, and we see now how she was like keeping Koichi here as a prisoner. But right when right when he was like going to eat, you know, out of nowhere, you know, we see how she was not having that because obviously she knows how we failed this test. And so now she was saying how she will make him a man, you know, that's like worthy of her or something like that. But pretty much she wants to help him improve. And we see now that while he was like eating, she was like going to make him study as well because she asked him, you know, like she asked him a question about Prince. Because like the question was, Prince made funky music, but what did funky music like even mean? And so right now, when he guessed the right one, and that was B, he was like able to eat some eggs. And so if he got it wrong, I believe that one of the wrong answers was like an eraser, but I forgot what the other one was. But pretty much if he got it wrong, he would definitely be forced to eat, you know, something that's like definitely not edible. And so right now, when it came to the second question, like at first he wasn't sure what to pick because at first he was like going with A, but then he saw her face, so obviously he knew that right there was the wrong answer. And so we see now that when he went to C, and we see her expression lighten, he knew that right there, you know, was the right one. But at the same time, you know, she definitely knew what he was doing, and we see how she got so pissed off at that because that right there, like, was kind of cheating. And like at the same time, she was definitely believing, you know, everything that Josuke and Okuyasu were saying. So that right there kind of came back to bite him because now she was like more serious than ever about making him into, you know, a better man. And so now because of that, you know, he was going to be forced to eat like some kind of soup that had like these like dictionary clip outs in it, and at the same time he also was like going to be forced to eat like this asparagus that was also wrapped in like these dictionary pages. And so right now he finally had enough. And we see how he actually smacked the fork out of her hand. And so pretty much now she was like going to back off a bit, but at the same time, you know, she was saying how he would not get any more food till he eat those, you know, like wrong answer food. And she also told him how this right here was like some kind of President Vila, so no one would be here till the summer. And so right now he's pretty much stranded there because we see that when he tried to escape at one point, we see how she planted a few of her hairs well, not a few, but a few hundred strands of her hair in his head. And so right now, that right there can like kind of control him, because if he tried to make a break for it, that right there will like just pull him back, because we saw how like he got pulled by a scalp, and we see how those hairs were like taking root in the ceiling. And so another way that she like cut him off was she actually took out the phone line, and so right now he has no way to get help, and so right now he is stuck there. And so obviously it's definitely not looking good for Koichi, because this girl, she's like batshit crazy, because she was saying how, you know, because love is invincible, so right now she feels like she can't lose, and obviously she has no idea Koichi is a stain user, because right now he really does not want to fight her, but at the same time he might not have a choice but to do that, because there is no way, you know, he can stay here. But I will say that her stand, you know, used correctly, it is extremely dangerous, because this girl had no idea her hair was like on fire till it was too late, and right now Koichi is the prisoner of it. So now it's like what exactly, you know, can she like make him do, or make him suffer through, you know, by like using her hair to like kind of control the body like that. But this episode, to me, it was damn good. Yukako is a crazy character who I actually want to see more of. Even though I have read the manga, I do want to see how the anime, you know, will like handle this. Because to me, you know, just seeing that one scene alone, where like she was like looking at him through his window, to me, that right there was like freaking perfect. But as always, don't forget to let me know what you got through the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, because it really helps me out. But as always, you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.